Okay, the first thing I want you to do is go to cjbookcase.com. We're going to download textures we're going to use in this tutorial. So we'll click on here and we'll look at some of them. What we're going to do is have this cloth drape over a glass monkey head in a room. So we'll download this black leather. You can download these 1K for now. That'll be fine. Just download each one of them. Their site must get busy because every now and then I notice there's a download fail. So we got all those. We'll go back. The glass material, we'll use something that's filled into Blender. Let's see. Let's make tile floor. We'll do this small tiles, the blue one. Come over here and grab all 4 of them. Make sure they download. This has to do with the texturing. Okay, so that'll be, we'll use that for our floor, our walls. Let's download this brick wall, white brick wall. Yeah, we'll do that. So we'll get all 4 of them. Okay. And then we'll fire up Blender. Do Shift A, mesh. We'll make a floor now. So P for plane. If you do it that way, or you can just click from the menu. We'll scale it up some. Control A. We'll do the scale. And then we'll come down here to materials. We'll do new material. And we'll call floor. Okay. Now, if you come up to the corner here, when your cursor turns into a cross, if you left click and drag it down, you can actually make split windows. You can do this with as many windows as you want, multiple screens. If you hold down shift and do that, you can actually drag it, like tear it off to another screen. So we're going to come up here to the shader editor, and that's that material that we just made. Now, something you should have is this node wrangler. So if you go under edit preferences, and you can come up here in the search, do node. Now I have node wrangler enabled, and I think it comes with Blender from now on, but make sure that's turned on with the checkbox. So once we have that, we can come back up in here and left click in our shader editor, hold down Control Shift and hit T, and it's going to want you to browse to where you have the images saved. Now since we're doing the floor, we're going to do this small tile, so we'll grab all 4 of them at once, and then we'll do principled texture setup. So that grabbed all of our textures, it built the texture. We'll come over here, viewport shading, and we'll turn this on to rendered. That's what our floor looks like. Not too bad. 0 will go to the default camera, which you can move around, and I've explained in other tutorials, but I'll go over it again. If you left click on the camera, that rectangle, you can do G and you can move it around to what you want. You can move it like anything else. Okay, so we're going to add another plane, Shift A, mesh, and then you can select plane or hit P. We'll do rotate X 90 degrees. We'll scale that up. It's kind of cool because if you notice, we're getting some reflection in the floor from that shader that it already built. So Control A. We're going to do all transforms, which would be rotation, scale, location. So we'll do that. Now, we'll slide that back some. That's going to be our back wall. Here's what we'll do. We'll hit 7 and we'll go to the top. And we can see we need to make that a little bigger. We'll just do S, bring it up. Control A, all transforms. We're going to make material for that. New, we'll call it wall. And then And we're going to come up here again, Shift and Control and T, and we'll do white brick wall. Grab all 4 of them, and that should build our white brick wall. Okay, we'll do Shift D to duplicate it, hit enter. Do rotate Z 90 degrees, and that's our other part of our wall. Now hit Z and go back to the camera, or I'm sorry, 0 and go back to the camera. It doesn't look too bad. I'm going to grab both of these walls and I'm going to bring them up some. Okay, that looks good. We'll do a quick render just to see what the room looks like. Now the lighting's kind of crude and everything like that, but we're just going to see what this is going to look like. I'm going to pause this for a minute until it's done. Okay, so that's what it looks like. That's not too bad. Now remember, this is just a background, so it's not that important, but it's okay. So close that up. Now we'll do Shift A again. Or I'm sorry, Control A. No, I'm sorry again, Shift A. And then Mesh, and we'll bring in the monkey. It's a famous monkey, Suzanne. It's been around Blender forever. We'll bring that up. We'll scale it down some. About like that. Bring it down, Control A, all transforms is good, and we will add a modifier, subdivision surface, to make it smoother. We'll just let it default settings for now, that's fine. And then right click on it and do shade smooth. Now there's an add-on I have that actually has a bunch of materials already made. Blender Kit. You can download that and install it. It's not that hard, and I can explain how to do that too, but that's another tutorial with add-ons. So we'll click on glass and it'll put a bar up here, and this bar will show you a preview of what the glass might look like. Let's grab the green glass, double click on it. Oops, I got the wrong, I made a glass wall. Control Z to get out of there. Okay, we'll bring that glass up again. Monkey, double click. I have no idea why it's picking that wall. Okay, Control Z, monkey, right? Suzanne. Huh, I never had to do that before. Material, let's make a material first. Monkey selected, right? There we go, just click once, maybe the double click messed it up. Okay, so the monkey's got the glass on it, that's good. And you can see the shader up here, all the stuff that's built. So the next thing is Shift A. We're going to add another plane. This is going to be the cloth that's going to drape down over the monkey. So we'll bring it up to about here for now, and you can see the shadow from the light coming in. So what we need to do is we're going to create a material for that, and we'll just call it cloth. Okay, and then we're going to do Control Shift T, bring that up. We're going to grab that black leather we brought in. That's that cancel download. Make sure you grab the right files. Okay, now we'll rotate this a little. I'm also going to hide that asset bar. We don't need that anymore. That's what that looks like. Now we can change the scaling of it. We'll come over here to scaling, and we'll say 3, 3, 3. So that looks a little better. Now another thing we need to do is tab into edit mode, and then we're going to come up here to edge. We're going to subdivide, and we're going to make it 50. 50 subdivisions. You can see that. Okay. Now, let's go back to our camera. Our camera's there. We're going to start up high. Yeah, we'll go about there. Now you can see the shadow there. We're not going to worry about lighting or that for now, but we'll do that. This is basically to show you simple physics. We're going to come in and we're going to do the physics tab. I think that's it. Yep. We're going to make a cloth. Close that up, get that out of the way. Okay. Now, quality steps, we're going to make 10 to make it look pretty good. We're going to scroll down till we find collision. And we're going to make that 5. And we got to make sure we turn on self collision so that way if it runs into itself it looks somewhat realistic. We're going to grab the monkey, and that's going to be the object we're going to collide with, so we have to set that to collision. And then we're going to go back to the cloth, and we're going to come down to this cache, and we're going to bake. But before we do that, I'm going to change this up here to show you what's going on. Timeline. That's the animation and the baking process, and all that'll go across here. So now when we do bake, it'll start moving across, and it's actually doing that pretty quick, so we're pretty good there. I was going to pause it. Well, I'll pause it. Okay, so it's finishing up. I'm going to let it finish up. Okay, it's done with the animation. You see it jump back to 1. So if you play the animation now, you see it falls down on the monkey. Now there's a lot going on here. Oh, I actually have it fallen off. Interesting. That can happen. I mean, physics can go. There's wind, there's gravity, there's all kind of things that are at play here. Now, well, that's okay. What we'll do, that'll actually help us. We'll just bring it down to there. It's falling. It's starting to fall off. So what we'll do is we'll come to about here. That's about 149. We'll just make our video, our animation, 150 frames. That way we're good. Now if we come back, it's like a VCR. Play. You can see what it'll look like. Now, if you notice, it's a little blocky down here. See how that looks? What you can do is come in here and you can add a subsurf modifier here, and it should smooth it out. Yeah, it does. Then we can do a right click, shade smooth, and we'll render just that one frame by hitting F12. See what it looks like. And again, I'll pause it to be easy on you. Okay, I noticed Suzanne's ears peeking out there a little bit. I mustn't have it lined up properly. Well, that's fine. It doesn't matter. Like I said, it's real physics, so if something's off, it'll find it. Okay, so I think what we're going to do also is, let's rewind it to the beginning. How we got that big shadow in there? Let's add another light. Let's do Shift A. We could add ambient light too, but we'll just do light. We'll do a point light. We'll bring it over, bring it up. Hit 0. Roll in. It helps some, but if we come down here to light type, sunlight is going to really be bright. Spotlight, area light. You know what, let's just get rid of that light. Let's go down to here, ambient occlusion. Now, ambient occlusion is going to pretty much get rid of the shadows and stuff, so let's kick that down. We'll say 0.1. Does that help it some? Now you can spend time. Usually everybody uses a 3-point lighting system, but I'm not going to go into that. Not on this anyway. So we'll go with that. Now we're going to render this. We're going to make a little movie of this. So what we need to do is got to set up for GPU its cycles. Now here in film, if you wanted a transparent background, you would come down here and do that. Our output up here says 1024 by 1024. You know what? Let's make it 512 by 512. Now we could also come down here and change this to 50%. Output, where you want to put it. We'll call this Susie 1. Okay, and then you can come down here. Now you can do a series of images and then build them together. A lot of people do that for certain things. There's a lot of advantages to it. We'll just come down there and we'll make it an MPG video. We'll come down here. We'll select it as an MPEG4. Audio output we don't care about, so we're not. You could add audio if you wanted, but we don't need that. We're going to do medium quality. You can do high quality. It just takes a lot longer to render. So once you want to render an animation, you come up here, render, and instead of just hitting F12, you do Control F12. Or you can come up here and do it. I tend to do it up here because that way I can watch what's going on. Now this usually takes a long time to render, especially if you have glass, because there's index of refraction, there's all kind of stuff going on, light bouncing all over the place, so it usually takes quite a while. So I'm going to pause the video until it gets to the point where I can actually show you the finished product.
Okay, so it looks like it finished the animation. Took it a while. I guess it took it like an hour to do the animation. And there's what it looks like. Yeah, I was off a little bit. There's a little bit of jitter here, but you can see the basics now. And I had it save here. So there's this MP4 format. Yeah, MP4 format there. There it is. So that's it.